Hello, my name is Tyrone Powell. I am your host for It's Okay, Man. Welcome to the podcast where we talk about masculinity and just how it affects all things. Talking to just random people in my life. Great conversations. You know the drill. We got our first sponsor. It's me. I'm the sponsor. My private psychotherapy clinic, Modern Zen Psychotherapy, where I help men and all people above the age of 13 deal with anything that's bothering you. I have niches, of course, men's issues, anxiety, plant medicine, that kind of thing. But I can help with grief, trauma, all sorts of different things. So if you're struggling or if you're just looking for some more self-understanding, maybe you just want to explore, somebody to talk to objectively, get some feelings off your chest, please drop me a line. hellotyrone.ca. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to chat with you. That's it. That's all. Short and sweet. Okay. Today's guest, Chris Giovanni. Congratulations. He just got married. We recorded this before the wedding. But Chris and I are longtime friends, probably 20 years or so now. He is, how do I say? He is very passionate about movies. And that's probably the nicest, most politically correct way to say it. This man knows too much. Like I would say, back in the day, you'd have the old man that collects stamps. Chris is kind of like that, but with movies, and movie knowledge, which is completely respectable. Absolutely. We love him for it. Great guy, great personality. But yeah, we get into masculinity in media, Hollywood, movies, how it's changed, how the messaging has changed, sex in movies has changed. We talk about how the quote unquote normal relationship that is being portrayed in movies has adjusted. And he talks about how sexual activity and sexual portrayal is dwindling. So there's a lot of great insights in this conversation as to what affects us as men and where we get some of that influence beyond just our peers and beyond our family and beyond our beliefs. So I hope you enjoy the conversation. It's really good. I already said where to contact me. So here we go. Enjoy.
Hello, Tyrone.
How's it going?
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on to my podcast. I just appreciate your time.
Of course.
And your knowledge and...
Or lack thereof.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Yeah, I guess so.
If you ever want to make yourself look like an idiot, just put yourself on the internet.
Believe me, I know that.
Okay, sweet. So we are, we're here. We're talking about masculinity. We are talking about movies, probably. Well, that's your realm.
Sure.
Absolutely. So that's kind of where we'll stay focused, but we'll obviously branch off, and that's cool. But first question, we'll get started. What is your definition of masculinity?
So obviously I know you ask this question every episode. Mm-hmm. And genuinely, I've been racking my brain for honestly a few weeks. Mm-hmm. Like how to answer that, right? Because I'm like, I don't think any answer is wrong. And it's very personal. Mm-hmm. And oddly enough, today, when I was doing a very masculine thing of trimming my beard to be on camera, I believe that masculinity to me is personified in my father.
Okay.
And I was describing certain things that I aspire to be when it comes to being like a man in this world. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I kept coming around and I kept telling myself characteristics and attributes of my dad. Mm-hmm. And to put it plainly, I was like, oh, it's masculinity to me, positive masculinity to me. Mm-hmm. I really look at it as my dad, like personified. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I've ever told him this, and I'll tell him to listen to this episode, maybe. but I'm planning my wedding. Mm-hmm. So it's my friendships and my family have really been top of mind. Like more so probably in a long time.
Okay.
Like in that sense, maybe not a long time, but I mean, like it's peace. I want everybody to have a good time. And I've been thinking about my friend, because again, you nail down like who's coming to the wedding, stuff like that, right? And where are they going to sit? So a lot of stuff that has been in my mind. So to go back to what I'm saying about my dad, you know, my whole working and adult life, I've always truly like aspired to be him. And obviously I'll tell you some characteristics, like, you know my dad for many, many years, but from my son perspective, you know, he came here with nothing, you know, from Europe, and him and his family, and they came here at a very, very young age in the 70s, and used to have a dirt floor back in Europe, and started from absolutely nothing and built something very special. And in general, I always looked to how he treated my mom and us as a family unit. And he did a lot of sacrificing to build the family unit, to build me. And it only took about 12 years of my career, working life, working almost every single day with him, to see even another side, right? I got to see his professional side, his out of work side, right? And to build people around him, and to be a business owner, and how he treated people, and the open doorness. And a big part of it was he is emotional. And I think nowadays you talk about masculinity, and it's kind of a thing that's been top of mind in recent years, in recent weeks.
Yeah, exactly. We live in Alberta. Yeah.
Oh my God. So there is like a true toxicity to that word, and I think people are taking the wrong meanings from a lot of it, and molding into this really gross thing, and especially to be like this manly man, right?
Yeah.
It's weird because I don't look at my dad as like this manly man. You know, that like traditional cliche way. I look at him as the provider, which I absolutely want to and am and aspire to be. I don't want my future wife to suffer. I don't want, you know, our future children to suffer. And that's not to take anything away from them either. No. Right? Like, my wife has an incredible job, and she takes care of me in a lot of other ways, you know, than I would. We joked this morning that I lift everything. You know, I gotta lift, you know, the heavy shit. You know? I gotta bring the groceries in. You know? Like I'm on physical duty. You know, nonstop.
Yeah. All right.
So I gotta restock that, you know, mini fridge over there. She ain't lifting no soda cans up the stairs. So I gotta do all that stuff. You know, when she moved in, you know, we planned our life space together, and you know, I built her the office. I put it together. I modeled it right away. And I know that sounds so, I don't want to say petty, or like insignificant, but it always goes back to the way my dad is like my dad will just drop anything for his family, not to take away from my mom either. Right?
Yeah, it's not in a substitute of, or to take like ownership of it or anything like that. It's like I don't want you to have to do this. So
totally. Yeah. And it's just something that, like, you know, I can call right now. They're in Spain. I can call him right now and he'll answer the phone, depending on the time difference. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure he would. And it's just, I've seen him personally, professionally, for my entire life drop everything to make sure this family unit is happy, peaceful, polite, and just like a well-oiled machine in that sense. So like I'll ramble on forever.
Well, let me give you some words that popped up into my mind then. So like there's a leadership there, right? Totally. Kind of like helm of the ship type thing. I heard hardworking absolutely would be in there. Like sacrificial.
And sacrificial is a interesting word too, because it's for better or for worse.
What do you mean?
So this goes back to the old school way of doing things too. Like there's a sacrifice there in the sense that when he was building his business, you know, he would have those super long days that I didn't really see him that much. And back in my youth, and I'll be honest, like, I mean,
it hurts.
And also it's we didn't have the relationship we had when I was an adolescent. until I worked for our family business and started to get into my own leadership role there too. And it took truly into my adult life. And it took me until, I've said this many times. I don't know if I've said it to you. Maybe I have. Maybe in passing. I don't know. But, I'm turning 37. You just had a birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you.
September 19th. So I'll be 37. And I've said to many people that I've loved my life all the way through. I've had a great time. I cherish my friendships. I have great male bonding, like we really do. I think you've talked about that in your past and on your socials and everything. But in my 30s, I know myself beyond a shadow of a doubt. It took 30 years, but I can truly, honestly say that in the last 7 years of my life, I know 1000% who I am, what I bring, what I want to aspire, what I want to hold in my close friendships, people I want to keep around for until my dying days,
Yeah.
And I think that is something, again, I learned from my parents, but then also, like, again, the sacrificial thing of it all, like when I was saying before, I got sidetracked. This is what I do. Anybody who's ever known me, who's listening or not, I go off on a tangent.
You like to talk.
This is the Italian in me. I'll just keep talking and talking and talking. So anyway, do you understand what I guess you're the guy to keep me on track. So.
Yeah. I mean, we were sacrificial, and so it's hardworking, and you that relationship early on, and that happened with my dad too. It's like you don't understand what they're doing, right? And you see, like, well, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? I look at my friends, I see, especially with social media now, I see certain things, I see parts of the relationship, like there's gaps, and some of those gaps might be too large, and they're not perfect as fathers, of course, but they also are putting in the work for us, right?
Totally.
And so there's definitely some qualities there that can be ripped out to give you some sort of definition of what masculinity is, right?
Sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and it's good. I mean, I bring this up every time now, and because I hear it so much, it's like between 20 to 30, you just get this, like, something goes off in your brain, and you're like, oh, I've just been, like, following this path that's been laid out for me, and you have to, like, rework your whole identity, and then in your 30s, you're like, oh, okay, I know who I am now, right?
It's wild, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna write a book on it.
No, it's very liberating.
Yeah,
I would say it's very liberating.
If you can lean into it, and you can figure it out. Absolutely, right? Yeah,
because we know people that are in their late 20s, and they're always like, oh, I don't want to be 30. My 30s were the best time of my life. For that reason. But again, that's positive masculinity that you got to take from it, right? There's a problem nowadays that doesn't see that, and they just take it to the extreme. And that I disagree with. But.
Yeah. And so let's transition, segue into some movie stuff here. Like,
sure.
How much did masculinity in movies affect you growing up? Because you're a huge movie guy. And in general media, we can talk about, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of young men, especially our age, you grow up on the muscle men of the 80s, Arnold, Stallone, Van Damme, and then the James Bond eras.
That was a big one.
Or a huge one.
Yeah.
And, our Bond is Daniel Craig for our era. Not necessarily, well, it is my favorite, but I'll just say that right now. I always say this, Daniel Craig is the best Bond, but a little bit Pierce Brosnan is kind of like...
I know, he was nice.
You know what I mean?
He was suave.
Yeah. And even in his older age right now, you're like, man, he can come back years ago.
Old Bond?
Yeah, 100%.
I'd watch it, yeah.
So, like, I grew up on a lot of those movies too, because it's funnily enough, my family is actually not big into movies.
Oh,
I don't know if you knew that.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, like, I am kind of an outlier. Like, my siblings like a lot of stuff because I'm the oldest. So I kind of when I babysat, it's like we're watching Return of the Jedi again. But a lot of my movie habits come from my grandfather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom's dad, my papa. He died quite young. He died at 57. He had a blood disorder. And me and him were like best friends. So funnily enough, it's funny that you say this. we're kind of. This is why you do this for a living. You've nudged me into certain areas of my life here. And I love you, so it's okay. But it's when I said that I didn't have a big adolescence with my dad,
Yep.
I had quite a special relationship with my grandfather.
Okay.
So there was always a male influence there. Mm-hmm. And he's very similar to my dad in the sense that he took care of my Nana. My Nana's still around, thank God. But she's my only grandparent left. Anyway, doesn't matter. But he took care of her, like truly. Like my Nana, she didn't have anything to worry about ever. Mm-hmm. But he died very young, and he was the one that introduced me into movies and Bond and my sense of humor.
Okay.
So.
I was gonna make a joke and say it could be better, but I didn't want to sully it.
It could be better. What?
Your sense of humor.
But
I didn't. I'm like, oh wait, he's dead. I can't say that.
I mean, sometimes. Well, yeah. Well, Anyway, yeah. But So like. I'm just trying to rack my brain like male influences in the film sense, but like I said, yeah, muscle men for sure. Mm-hmm. Always like that, big explosions, big stuff like that, right? But it was always fake. I was never one of these people to like look at that and be like, oh, that's normal.
Okay.
Like I was taught, right? Because you got to teach your kids this stuff.
Yep.
Like violence and sex, which and sexuality and everything, like on movies and TV is fake. It's fictitious. It's people are hired. Like it's not okay that Rambo chokes a guy, pulls a pin a grenade, kicks him off into in Rambo 3, kicks him into a hole. He explodes after he gets hung. Mm-hmm. That's not okay, and you can laugh at it because you realize this is totally fake.
Yep.
And I think that's a message that sometimes is lost because especially now with social media, there's so many things coming at young boys right now. And I'm not here to say that movies cause violence, in real life.
I mean, unchecked, right?
Unchecked,
right? Like without that, like exactly like you said, without that guidance, without the teaching, without somebody being like, "Hey, we're going to see something that is made to be extreme and made to be not real, and this is excess. This is not how you should act." Right?
No. So, and that same goes to James Bond and how the eras of masculinity of James Bond are different, right? Yeah. Like how he is a womanizer. Mm-hmm. That kind of changed as the Daniel Craig era happened too. It merged with the times. He's less of a womanizer. Mm-hmm. It's we talked about this earlier. Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s character. The comic character is a womanizer as well. Mm-hmm. And that has changed, right? But comedy influences, a big comedy, like for male comedy influences, mine were like Chris Farley. I like being a goofball. Okay. I was gonna ask. That's a sidebar. I'm gonna ask you. Do you remember last time? Like, do you know when we like met? Like, can you picture like not meet, but like actually started to like? Because I do. Because I actually do know like when I decided in my mind that I wanted to be silly and be friends with you.
No, I don't remember how we met.
Okay, so in Alberta, where we're from.
I mean, it would have been. Well, let's break it down. It would have been in high school.
It was actually it was two parts. It was the summer between junior high, grade 9, and grade 10, high school, because we were taking religion class together.
Okay.
So we did. Remember you could like
the summer class.
You can do a summer class. And religion. And I remember seeing you, and you had your big fro at the time, and you're very goofy, very funny, and I was like, okay, I like him. That's cool. And then in grade 10, we shared Spanish class together. Okay. And you and our mutual friend Jeff, who is going to be my best man at my wedding, you sat on the opposite side of the room of me against the bookshelf, and you would always sit back like this, and you would talk and be goofy and have fun. And I was always trying to get your guys' attention. And I distinctly remember me being goofy like an Ace Ventura. Chris Farley physical humor thing, and I remember something like you guys needed like a pen or some shit like that. Can I swear?
Yeah. Okay. This is an explicit talk.
Okay. Just making sure.
Is yours?
It is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It is. I can't be stopped. I try, but I remember distinctly the moment, and I did like this, Do you remember in Ace Ventura when Nature Calls? When Ace Ventura was like, Griswold, hit the lights. And he hits the light, and then he's like, get down there. And then he starts to like rumble or like trying to get the guy. He's just like moving around. Mm-hmm. I did that to go past you guys like a pen or some bullshit. And that's just a
Did it hit? Did we laugh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, yeah, we did. And it worked. And I was like, oh, they think I'm just stupid. Great.
Perfect. I'm in.
So again, I like showing masculinity in movies was like that, was making people laugh and just honestly just like a positive situation. Like again, like I love Chris Farley, Jim Carrey, Mike Myers. Yeah. Those guys were funny to me, and I had that sense of humor because of that. So I'm kind of a goofball in that sense.
So yeah, that's interesting because there's typically when you think, if somebody were to ask you like, okay, what's masculinity like in movies, you picture that type of thing, right? You picture not that type of thing, but like what you first said, the muscular, the Arnold, that kind of stuff. And then, but there is that side. Yeah.
It's easy.
There is that like you said, the Jim Carrey, those like staple comedians, male, that have such confidence in their ability to just like, hey, I can be whatever, right?
I can look silly.
I can laugh. Yeah.
My face I don't need to look movie star handsome all the time. Yeah. That's Chris Farley. Yeah. Chris Farley was a big guy. Like he died from a heart attack, from a lot of drugs and abuse to his body, right? Yeah. But he wasn't some Tom Cruise. Yeah. He wasn't Brad Pitt. And those to me were more like my role model. Leslie Nielsen, a Canadian icon, in slapstick humor. Mm-hmm. Like these guys were movie stars, but they weren't like your typical, you're cliche, right? And that was more my direction. I never aspired to be bodybuilding and doing that sort of stuff. Yeah. But I think the Everyman spoke to me.
Right.
On the masculine side.
Yeah, but I don't even think that's like the everyman. I guess if we're talking like physical archetype, but but there's still and you saying all that, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I see that in your personality, right? Yeah. When you like to tell jokes, you like to speak, you like to use that portion of your personality to portray your masculinity and your identity.
Yeah, I ain't showing no six-pack abs. Those do not exist.
I got one pack.
Yeah, that's not happening. So yeah, it's I lead from that angle for sure. And you're so right that like, of course, film and TV have maneuvered that for me.
And then, do you think that's changed in today's media? Because we're talking about those old, like, I'm trying to think of like staple comedian males now, and I mean, I haven't been watching movies for a while.
Sure.
But what about you?
It's changed for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's, comedy's kind of an issue right now anyways, just in general, but are
you talking about Kimmel or what?
Well, that's another thing too. We don't want to get this podcast canceled by the U.S. government. But I think there's so many influences right now.
Okay.
Like, I think young people now are less and less people are watching movies. You just said you don't watch movies.
Yeah, right? I think I would if I didn't have kids. I don't have time.
Fair enough. But even still, like, don't you think, like, even in our personal group chats and this and that, aren't you recognizing that we all grew up making short films together and dicking around, and Comtech was the class we had. Mm-hmm. But even our love for certain types of films have changed and gone by the wayside. Like remember, there were so many times that we would go to so many movies together, like when I worked at the movie theater, and just in general, like you and our other mutual friends, Jace, would go out, and me and Jeff would do something. Like, very rarely are we hitting up every Marvel movie anymore. And maybe it is time, maybe you are right about that. But I think the hierarchy of priority that I'm seeing being so locked into the entertainment industry, in that sense, like, I'm not part of the entertainment industry, obviously, but I'm very much active outsider.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. I mean, you're industry adjacent.
Sure.
You're a critic of it, right?
Sure. Yeah. But it's just so low on the hierarchy right now.
I think
they're looking at YouTubers.
Yeah.
YouTubers and TikTok people and comedians.
They're only people putting out original content.
Well, that gets to even just the film industry in general and how homogenized it's become because of mega billion-dollar corporations conglomerating together and softening everything just for just the blanket generic bullshit. Now, like I said, like anecdotally, specifically, I said, Tony Stark's not into chicks anymore. Like that's just not in the movies anymore. Mm-hmm. You don't see sex in movies anymore. Mm-hmm. Like you really don't. When Disney owns everything.
See, and that's something I haven't even noticed because I haven't watched much other than a couple big blockbusters.
Sure. So there's barely romance in them.
I guess.
There's barely romance in big blockbusters. And like indie stuff, like there's a great movie that came out, I think it was last year, called Love Lies Bleeding. And it's a Kristen Stewart movie. It's a lesbian thriller, romantic, sexy thriller thing. It's awesome. I loved it. I own it. I still buy movies.
Physical media.
I still buy physical media until they rip it from my cold dead hands. But there's movies like that. There's movies like Saltburn.
Yeah.
That are very sex forward, or even if it's like manipulate. There's something that there's sex on screen. There's nudity on screen, and that's okay. But we live in a culture that, especially the way, like I said, things are going with certain companies and showing their conservative ideologies more and more and more and more. Mm-hmm. They're hiding that. And I think that plays into the toxic masculinity that we see today. I think shielding a lot of that stuff mm-hmm. and, again, homogenizing it and making it so fucking vanilla.
And faux pas, right?
And faux pas, dude. Great. Yeah, faux pas.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to think of these big superhero movies. I mean, superheroes are they're in a weird spot right now, but just because it's kind of top of mind. But think of just big blockbusters. Think of even the new Jurassic World movie. Scarlett Johansson's in there, and she's looking great. And there's a romance, kind of, but they won't actually do it because they won't actually complete the romance.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's there. It's just on this little shallow water of romance and sexuality, and they just want to play it safe. That you have to actively look outside of that studio system, which, again, like I said before, on the hierarchy of film and television, right now it's just content. It's just content. It's just put it on the Netflix. They even have. You probably heard that there was like a memo that was released or whatever that Netflix gets their script writers to put almost like action verbiage into their scripts now. And narration almost to remind you when you're looking at your fucking cell phone all day. When you're watching the movie, but you're looking at your cell phone and you're reminded, okay, and then Josie, we're going to go find that book, right? Oh yeah, fuck, they got to get the book.
Really?
Yes, so they've actively been placing those to get because people's
your
brains,
attention, yeah,
their attention is off.
Oh my!
It's it's a real thing that's happening.
That's crazy.
And it's molding us like that. It's molding us to be stupid.
Yeah, to not be able to follow a plot.
100%, 100%. And it's jeez, the most basic, bare bones plot is and thematic nature of things and characterizations of characters within the films are being dumbed down by these mega corporations, by these Netflix, by Disney, by Paramount, by blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
that you have to go outside the realm, which is hard when these movies don't get marketing budgets. Mm-hmm. They don't get funded. Mm-hmm. They go to the theater for 3 days mm-hmm. At one screen because Disney bought all the other screens for that theater. They used to do that when I worked for Cineplex Odeon at a young age. Movies like Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith were coming out, and Spider-Man 2 and stuff like that. But I remember when Revenge of the Sith came out in May of 2005, mm-hmm. and I remember that Disney bought out 80% of our theater. Not Disney at the time. Sorry, Lucasfilm, because it wasn't owned by Disney yet. Yeah. Fox and Lucasfilm bought out 80% of the theater so they can show more screen times and more show times.
Yeah.
Right? And that's happening more than ever now, that it's hard to seek out
Smaller films
that touch on this real stuff.
Yeah.
There's a limited series that I just finally caught up on. Did you watch Adolescence on Netflix?
No. I don't have. Yeah, no.
So Adolescence is like 4 episodes. It's about. I mean, I'm going to say negative things towards it first as well. I'm not going to just
I heard good things. I heard mixed things. So
okay, so I'll be mixed on it.
Sure.
It's all about. I don't want to spoil it for people that watched it, but all I'll say is it's like a young boy is discovered to maybe do something terrible. Okay. And it's all happening in every episode is one take, one shot.
That's what I heard about it.
It's technically brilliant.
Yeah.
And the acting is jaw-dropping.
Okay.
Especially by the kid. He just won an Emmy, so good for that guy. But it's touching on toxic masculinity in the sense of like why young boys are more susceptible to violence and to issues that are plaguing a lot of our neighbors to the south.
Okay.
Right? And my issue with the show, and my issue, which is kind of what I'm talking about, homogenizing things, it is so preaching to the choir. We get it. I get it. I know. I know. That's Adolescence is toxic masculinity, the show. I know.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many, because there was we have a mutual friend who's a teacher, and he had said that he's heard from people to let's put this into the curriculum to make young boys watch this series.
Okay.
And he disagreed with it for what I'm saying too. It's so surface level. It's bringing up a question, but no answers. 0 answers.
I mean, which that type of thing has its place, you know.
For sure.
It's important that it's there, but yeah, to put it in, I mean,
But is the 4chan basement dweller gonna watch that?
the person that it's for isn't going to watch
They're not.
it. Okay.
And that's my problem with Hollywood right now, especially more than ever before.
Yeah.
When it comes to masculinity and solving this problem.
Yeah.
Because I said it's low in the hierarchy, but still, movies and TV, entertainment is huge.
Yeah.
It's still, one of the cheapest forms of entertainment. For
Movies, sure.
Streaming services. Sit at home, Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
It's a thing. So if Hollywood wants to attack these issues and talk openly like we are right now, they have to be better at just stating the problem because we get it.
Well, and I think that's probably part of the reason that people are not going to movies. If there's no substance to them, I don't know. Even in my journey creating kind of this persona and this identity in this podcast and watching it grow so much over the past 9 months, it's all I'm doing is talking. I'm just hey, so many people, I'm talking to these people in my daily life and everyone's this is an issue, blah, 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 let's talk about it. But then you go online and it's why can't I not find anybody really, really bringing this shit up, digging into it in a peaceful and respectful manner.
Well, that's a big part is the peaceful, respectful manner. It's just a lot of shouting.
Yeah.
I've obviously I don't have personal social media right now. I have a more of a professional one that I don't even handle right now.
Yeah.
But I cut out social media a long time ago, as you know, for a lot of truly mental reasons. And it's about, I think at this point,
it's probably been 10.
Going on 10 years.
Yeah.
I cut cold turkey, Facebook, Instagram, the whole Cambridge Analytica stuff scared me to death, and I thought it was just absolutely horrible. But then also just mental stuff, just being I was going through a tough time, and you'd see people just celebrating constantly.
Yep.
Decided, you know what, delete.
Yeah.
Never been more, never been happier. However, I've been able to check out some stuff on yours because it has been growing, and congrats, it's been awesome.
Thank you.
Very cool, cool to see from the again, an active outsider. And I've seen people just immediately 100 miles an hour come at you.
Oh yeah.
And you're so. I wonder when this will change, but you've done. You will engage with them in a very, very mannered, calm, accepting way. And then they'll come back at you with some fucking bullshit again.
And they escalate. They escalate. And I'm like
it's insane.
I had one the other day, and I was like, I just don't, like, after the shooting of Charlie Kirk, and I was like, I'm just not going to dive into the hate. Like, I'm not going to hate whoever it was. Like, it's like, the hate is the issue. So, like, why would I just, like, retaliate with more hate? Like, it just escalates. And this guy's like, you're projecting on other people that hate. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm just saying I'm not going to hate. And he just lost his mind. And I was like, all right.
Becoming the very thing that you don't want to do. You're actively talking about.
This is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. It's nonsense. And that's, I guess, maybe where Hollywood is what they're scared to do too. Because look what's going on. You know, people are getting truly canceled. Truly canceled.
Yeah.
Because, you know what, we can have the discussion about, is cancellation real? You know, because especially the way stand-up comics talk and this and that, you know, they're all doing really well. A lot of them are going to Dubai soon and Saudi Arabia. So, you know what? You know, put your money where your mouth is, but fair enough. There's people actively getting shut down or attempts to by governmental agents now. And it's like, Hollywood, I love Hollywood, but I'm on record many, many times. They are the biggest dummies in so many respects.
It depends on what context, though, because if that is the game, if the game is to be a corporation and make money, then you got to play the game within the the government, right? So if they're following trends, if they're ripping sex out of movies, if they're changing what masculinity is, like, you look at, I don't know, who are the top male actors right now?
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy, right?
Tom Holland. But not even him. He's just Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the big guy.
Exactly.
Not Tom Holland.
But their archetype is not super buff big, right? And it's
kind of like heroin chic. You know, that's like the Pete Davidsons, you know, that sort of thing.
In previous eras, they would have called that feminine.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
You know, so and then it's like, okay, well, how does the gay agenda, if you're on the right and you're looking at that, it's like, well, where did my masculinity go? It's like, well, what do you mean? Right?
Totally.
Like, they're still protecting, they're still loyal, they're still strong, they're all of these things, but they just don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and all of a sudden you are threatened by that.
And they never looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's another thing too. The majority of people didn't.
Yeah.
You know, they were always lit. That's why we just say Arnold. We know who we're talking about. You know, there was one Arnold. You're not him. You know, you're not. And it's like, I think that's changed, and you know, and also nobody wants to talk about all the steroids and hearts exploding, but okay. Very masculine of them. Did you send us that picture of Brock Lesnar recently?
No, that was Jason.
Brock Lesnar's like 60 years old, looking like a fucking freight train. Totally natural, right? The Rock too.
Yeah, he's slimmed down a little bit.
But I think, because he I guess what I'm getting at is what we're saying. Remind me just now. My brain went.
We were talking about
different movie stars.
Yeah,
and like, okay, that's what I was going to say. Was that sometimes I feel, though, with Hollywood and movies and film and blah blah blah, it's a little bit of a snake eating its own tail. It's a little bit of chicken or the egg. Like, are they responding? Are they responding to a lack of sexuality, a lack of archetype? Are they responding to something, or are they
in the world?
In the world, yeah. Or are they manufacturing a little bit, and then of course, then you have in real life, you know, it's the studies are ongoing and saying that young people are just having less and less sex. Men are less are pursuing less and less. We're stuck on our phones, and then when we do meet outside of our phones, it can become very white knightish. We can become very, again, the toxicity comes out when people are shut down. It's so complicated. It's so complicated. And I always want to try to see where Hollywood's influence is in there. Like, are they adding to that by just, like you're saying, faux pawing
Yeah, it's just like surface level. We're not going to touch on any of these issues at a meaningful, influential scale. So then it just becomes, it just disappears, right? Like it's like, and then that becomes the norm, and it's like, okay, well, where are we getting those conversations? Where are we doing that? And that trickles down into everything. It's like, well, I mean, you look at the changes in Alberta. It's like ripping sex education out of schools. It's like, okay, well, it's not in our media. It's not in our art, which is what the movies are supposed to be in the 100%. First place. It's no longer art.
Influences so much. It goes back to Greek, or it goes back to Greece.
Yeah.
Like it goes back to cavemen fucking drawn on walls. You know, art is where art builds our culture out, and we share it, and we love. It's traditional, like it's traditions. It's this whole thing. So like, if art is being attacked or diluted or again homogenized, as I said, it has like this huge repercussion. Huge. It's why people should be able to say what they want. You know, it's that's the, you know, bad or good.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to agree, but that's the beauty of where we live.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of being in a free spot. You know, it's. But I think these corporations, when you become, and I'm a business guy, you know that.
You are a business.
You know that. Like
we could get in a very different discussion,
Sure.
and I'm sure we would end up arguing.
but again, a friendly argument.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
We would walk away, hug, and say I love you. Okay, bye.
Yeah,
See you later.
Yeah,
I'll see you next week.
I mean, I'll say I love you tomorrow. But
totally. So like I am a business guy. Like I know I am, and I know I am capitalistic in a lot of ways. But I do recognize the ceiling.
When there should be a ceiling.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Oh, you're so right.
Yeah.
Like there is like what's enough in so many of these corporations' minds. Like what's enough? You know, they're already like what's going on now. Like Netflix might be buying Paramount, or there's more mergers that are on the table now for just becoming big super corporations.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of science fiction out there, you know, in novel form, movie form. There's stuff that I've discussed before in my my hobby podcast.
I'll let you plug it later.
I'll do it. Okay, but we talk about there's a lot of science fiction stuff out there that have the world right now. Alien. Hey, we're watching Alien Earth right now. Alien Earth shows a future where it's run by 3 or 4 mega corporations, and what that does to society.
Yeah. But you look at it and you're like, this is kind of where we're going.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
Because it's kind of like, you know, James Cameron and, you know, Terminator and AI and these, again, art. It comes back to art. Art was there. Art told us this shit was happening. Art told us back in the, you know, oh my God, like I don't even know how far back, but, you know, that AI is probably going to destroy us, you know, and it's going to cause a lot of problems. But we keep rushing to it because of money. You know, again, as a business person, I knew the best, not the best, sorry, the quickest way to up your margins and your profit is to get rid of people.
Yeah.
And that's something that, like, during COVID, I'll say, like, I was running our company during COVID, and that is something we vowed not to do. Period. We wrote it on paper. We wrote it in like a actual memo. Go home. Tell your family and your wives, your spouses, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
We're not getting rid of you. We're not laying you off. And people need to hear that. And I think...
Yeah, I got laid off in COVID.
Yeah. I know a lot of people, yeah.
I was like the number 1 sales rep in my company.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. See ya.
Yeah.
So they can save, you know, whatever. Even though what you're bringing in, you know, there's a break-even point there.
Yeah.
So
They'll find someone else.
But the quickest form is to get rid of people. And that's why we're seeing AI becoming so exponential, especially right now, because it's becoming easy. And we're not taking it seriously enough. I've noticed that, especially, again, in the arts. They're not taking it seriously enough. Again, it's a lot of lip service.
Well, what do you mean? Are you talking about just like the slop that's coming out? Like AI images and stuff like that? Or?
Well, yeah, a little bit of that. Like, it's because it's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
Hey, I've made some. I did send one for your birthday.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was stupid. And that, like, we're making fun of it, right? Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, we are making fun of something that is pretty serious.
Yeah, I got a video to send you. I'll send it to you.
Sure. No, I will. Yeah.
But
in the arts specifically, right? Like it's kind of like
yeah. And then when we strip that out and we have something else, because not only are we going to lean on it for creating, we're going to lean on it for guidance, and we already do. So people, we're offloading that cognitive load, right? And say like, I don't want to think about how to plan this essay, so like, give me an outline, right? Like that is work we did before. So when we offload that, and then we start offloading it at a larger scale, it's like we are losing our humanity, right? We're losing ourselves, and we're getting rid of it, and we're becoming, Wall-E style.
Sylvester Stallone just said something this week, the last couple days actually.
Okay.
So again, muscle man from the 80s, right? Mr. Macho.
Yeah.
You know, Sylvester fucking Stallone. Okay? And they want to get this young Rambo movie off and going, right? And he's too old now, of course. He's like, I don't know, he's in his 70s.
Yeah.
Still looks great, That's what Money and Power does. But, he's in his 70s and looks great. And there's a clip out right now from an interview that he talks about. He wrote a script for the Young Rambo movie, and he wanted it to be the first fully AI film. Oof. Yes, that's the reaction you should have. Oof. And he said he wanted. This was a couple days ago. My friend group, my Comic-Con friend group sent it to me, and he's saying that. Isn't it amazing what they could do now? And like, I could just be young Rambo like the whole time, and you can see him in high school, and he could be a valedictorian. And I was like, yeah, that's the first thing you thought about when you watch fucking Rambo, the valedictorian John Rambo, Yeah. And then it shows him go off to Vietnam and see how he became the guy that you see in First Blood, which is like a PTSD ridden, sad sack, really, until he became crazy action hero.
Yeah.
And like that guy holds some, well, maybe not so much power anymore, but like I know the government there has appointed him one of the ambassadors to Hollywood, and he's saying this bullshit like that. And again, that's actually a great through line. He cannot get rid of his own ego and his own masculine sense of worth on his end to pass it on to a new generation.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I was just about to say, it's like, yo, you became an actor and a writer and a screenplay artist or whatever they're called. You created films. You created this for yourself, and now you're going to rip out that opportunity for somebody else?
Yeah, because you can't let go. Can't just move on.
That and so this like you brought up the idea of like toxic masculinity a few times, and I don't like that term. People don't like it because they're like, masculinity is not toxic, blah, blah, blah. But I don't like it for a different reason, because I think that the traits that are aligned with toxic masculinity aren't masculine.
That's actually, I would agree with that.
You look at stuff like him doing like that's just cowardice.
Yeah, it's cowardice.
That's just like
narcissism.
You're done. Let go. Like, you pass on the torch, but like,
dude, go enjoy your hundreds of millions of dollars on a beach.
That would be so much more respectable and so much more manly than trying to AI yourself into some slop film.
I could not agree more. That is we don't have movie stars anymore. Like, really, we don't. Yeah. Like, I'm on
Tom Cruise is like
Tom Cruise. That's especially the one that we say.
My boy, I love him.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Personal weird stuff aside.
Yeah, he's got some weird religious.
You know what? He's a fucking movie star.
He's a he's a grinder. Like, dude, let's go.
And every anecdote I've ever heard from any walk of life, socioeconomic background, any demographic has always said, when they talk to that guy, he's listening to you.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy, apparently.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Right? Like, he's a little off on some stuff.
Oh, he's
but
weird.
Like, he was protecting people during COVID. He was man, he grinds and he works hard, and he's not doing AI stuff. Like,
he's getting on that fucking plane.
He's jumping out of freaking near space for movie shots, right?
Yeah.
Like,
he's doing it for the audience.
Respect that.
And that's
art.
And again, he's a good looking guy, but he's never been like a super muscular, again, macho man kind of thing.
Yeah. And he built it for himself. He built it like
Yeah.
like on the back of Mission Impossible. Like just like
Totally.
this is my brand and I'm gonna create it.
There was a study done recently. I can't remember from who. I'm sorry that I'm not citing this. I feel so like I'm Mr. Misinformation right now. We're not doing that, but like trust me. Do it. Trust me.
Source? Trust me, bro. Yeah. Love that.
It's their average age or something of like movie that people think or feel like they like named movie stars, right? And like the youngest movie star they could name is maybe Timothée Chalamet, but he was like basically he was the outlier.
Okay.
But everybody was picking Brad Pitt, Leo DiCaprio, again Tom Cruise, The Last Gen, a couple gens away. You know, let's be honest, these guys are pushing 60.
Yeah.
You know, so people are naming them. You know, The Rock, he's getting up in age too. So like people are naming them as movie stars. There's not a lot of this new generation. Like, look, the kid's movie star right now is Jack fucking Black.
Jeez, because of Minecraft.
Oh, dude, because of a lot of things. We discussed this. Me and my friend Trev. We discussed Jack Black recently as a movie star for children. Minecraft, Jumanji, the way he react or the way he is online with social media, how inviting he is with adolescent people. You know, he seems like a guy that doesn't take it too seriously. However, gives it his all. And he's no source material is beneath Jack Black.
No, true. He'll do anything.
He'll do anything, and he will give it his all, like a Tom Cruise, but a different type of movie star, a different type of male figure for young people. Jack Black is a very positive person, other than him trying to, cancel his band because, his buddy said the wrong thing about Trump. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We all got our issues. But I think, again, the male movie star has changed. Is Timothée Chalamet a male role model for men, or is it just like the young women that like him? I'm not sure. That one, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
The most demographic I know that talks about Timothée Chalamet are women.
Dune fans?
Yeah, Dune fans. And even now, they're talking about Dune.
Yeah.
They're talking about the IP.
Yeah.
They're talking about the property. They're talking about the character.
Yeah.
They're not talking about him, truly. Him, to most people, are, it's him and Kylie Jenner. Like it's a celebrity culture thing with a lot of movie stars now versus what sells the movie.
Yeah. That's what I was just about to say. It's like, okay, if as men we are, I guess, teen boys now looking and watching movies, you're not going for a specific actor and a specific archetype in the male protagonist or something like that. Like the movie is just the movie and whatever messaging you get out of it. But we already talked about a lot of that framework is ripped out of it. Oh yeah, it's just. I don't know. What are we watching nowadays? Right?
100%. You're again the last guy to go is like again a Tom Cruise. People are not going to see the new Chris Hemsworth movie. They're not. They're going to see the new Thor. You're not going to even see that. Like I don't even know Mahershala Ali is in Jurassic World.
Yeah. Nobody's
going to see a Mahershala Ali movie. They're going to see Jurassic World.
Yeah.
It's
weird how that's changed.
It's weird how and young people. I'm not even trying to say movies. Well, movies kind of raise people in some respect, but there isn't this figure you can look up in real life. Like back in I don't know. I'm just trying to think of old school movie stars. Cary Grant, Jack.
Old school Will Smith was mine.
Dude,
I would go.
There you go.
Whatever movie Will Smith
That's
movie.
A great
I'm
example.
going. Pursuit of Happiness. 7 Pounds. Doesn't matter. And they were all bangers. And he was such a respectable dude at the time.
And then he did something a stupid manly thing.
Which one?
Defending your wife. And go and hit somebody on live TV.
Oh, yeah.
He fucking it was everything that we learned, because I completely agree with
that. That was probably
that was the crux.
That was when everybody realized he was off the thing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But he did something.
And everyone was
that was again, I know you don't like the term, but it's okay that I use it.
Yeah, I get the context.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's that was him displaying extreme toxic masculinity.
He's like, you can't say that I'm protective. This is my family.
So I'm gonna
my
go
wife.
beat someone's ass
On stage
the
in
fucking
front of
biggest
millions.
millions. Your coworkers.
Yeah.
All the studios that are going to employ you before and after.
Yeah.
Everybody went to go do that. It was like, wow, he displayed something that I think really severely and I think permanently damaged his image. I was a huge defender of Will Smith for a long, long time, and I remember seeing that. And honestly, it like fissured my feelings on his like movie stardom too. Like, you're right. You went to go see a Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
I will defend I Am Legend, and I know a lot of people fucking hate that movie.
I Am Legend. I watch it over and over. It's one of the few
awesome.
I own on Blu-ray.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But like, when was the last Will Smith movie you watched that's new?
I didn't even watch the King one about the Serena one.
Me neither. I think the last one I watched was. No, I watched the Bad Boys movies.
See, I didn't even watch the last couple.
There you go.
And Bad Boys 2 is like
Quintessential.
in my soul.
Quintessential for us, for sure. Our friend group, the way, like, again, speaking of maybe not the best version of manliness of Bad Boys 2 is kind of insane.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know it's over the top.
But it's over the top.
And it's like that. But like that is so important. I mean, what's coming to my mind right now is like kind of sexual awakening experiences too. Like you think about like
Megan Fox and Transformers.
Exactly, man. Like once you bend over that car and you're just like, oh, I'm straight. You're like, whoa.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
You're like, God damn. But it doesn't have to be
so
straight.
funny.
It can be anywhere along that like sexual attraction spectrum. And it's just like, it's important because it's like, it's just a representation and that art, if you don't see it, like what you're going through life. And if everything, well, we don't want to over-sexualize in life and in art and in movies and in media. We also, it's so important. It's part of who we are. So it's like, how are you going to discover any of that if we're ripping out sex education, if we're ripping out sex representation, all of it?
100%.
Right? It's, if art is supposed to mimic life, then it's like, well, we have sex in life. So I'm attracted to things in life. So
it's an odd thing to see, and it's been age old, honestly. I think we're seeing it more on this scale because we are so connected now, and I think because we know so much about so many things, inner workings of corporations and this and that. But like, there always has been a, for lack of a better term, hard on for violence versus sexuality and like and those types of things. But now,
you know what's interesting before you started.
No, go ahead, please.
Like, it's interesting how the trend in movies is sex is coming out of it, but they still use sex to sell things.
Oh, always
in marketing.
Well, look at the Sydney Sweeney jeans thing, right? But then caused a fucking shitstorm. And it's like, for what?
Personally, I think it was a little overblown. I might get flack for this, but
I'm with you.
I think it was a little much. The response, I get it. It was probably in bad taste, but at the same time, it's like, why are you worrying about this? Like at that level, and that's why I think it was that important.
I think there's certain spots on the political spectrum that do overblow things, or just are easily distracted.
Sure.
I think that one especially was maybe a little bit more of a. It was perpetuated by one side because they recognized it could be a distraction, so they fueled it, and there's a bunch of people over here that fell for it. That's how I feel.
Sure.
But yeah, sex sells. I mean, that's as simple as that. It sells, but then it's not actually in the content that you watch.
Yeah. Interesting.
You see these beautiful bodies, these beautiful celebrities. The Kardashians of the world are still top of mind in this culture. That level of thinking. But you go see a movie and people aren't even kissing.
Yeah.
Like, what's that about?
Weird.
Like, people aren't even kissing.
And it's crazy because like you're and I hope people are listening. If you're listening and if this is clicking that you have not even realized this, I hope you comment on it or something, because like you don't even think about it. It's just like slowly kind of gone.
And again, and especially mega blockbuster things. Like, that's what I'm getting at. It's like those ones especially. So much so that the new Fantastic Four movie came out, and that's more based upon like a family of people, right? And the movie did you watch it, by the way?
No.
It's very good. I quite loved it. And I'm kind of a naysayer right now regarding that whole franchise. But it revolves around a family, and the movie starts with the protagonists, oh my god, now Reed Richards and Sue Storm, checking a pregnancy test.
Oh, okay.
Before the credits roll.
Oh, wow.
So it's the prologue. Shows them looking at a pregnancy test, and in my opinion, that was the right step in a direction of like, wow, that's to think that that's brave is strange. I know. And you're probably thinking, that's weird. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, but it's not something you'd be used to seeing.
But it tells me that they had sex.
Sure.
It tells me that they are together. It immediately tells you that they are in a real, normal, everyday relationship, even though they're superheroes.
Yeah.
And it's something that is lost. You know, like, there's just so many things that I'm just like, even just trying to rack my brain of other things that I've seen lately that refute. Oh, you know what? I'll even go as far back as this. I've been recently watching the Shaft movies. Okay.
Which ones? Like the old school ones?
I watched the first one for reasons because of,
Yeah.
So I watched the first one with Richard Roundtree. That was in the 70s.
Yeah.
And that was he was fucking manly, man. Like, oh, dude, 100%. Like the theme song, he had that black trench coat, leather. I think he sleeps with 3 or 4 girls in a 90-minute movie, and just like kicks them to the curb. Again, I'm not condoning it, but what I'm saying is like that was a 70s movie.
That's what it
was. He was the fucking man. You know. Then the reboot happens with Sam Jackson in 2000.
I saw that with my dad. Actually.
And in 2019, they tried to redo it again with another generation with Sam Jackson. I know it. Nobody watched it, believe me.
I don't know which one I saw.
The one in 2000, though, he's like stripped of any like sexiness.
Okay.
It's kind of strange. It's very focused on being a crime thriller and this and that, but then it could be just any generic crime thriller. Yeah. You know, it's just interesting to see just the trajectory from the 70s films of like sex and this and that, and it's all up front, and you could be a man, blah 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 blah, and then they slowly over the last 25 years, especially into the aughts, they started to strip away the thing that most people do every fucking day. Is love somebody, love their partner. Yeah, kiss them, touch them.
It's almost like they took it away. They could have taken it away for better reasons and done it in a better way and brought it to a more respectable level.
Yeah, like I'm not asking for orgies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking.
Like, I don't need every show to be The Boys.
No. That's where they take it a little so far into satire that it's like it becomes like so duh. Yeah. And I like The Boys. Yeah, but it is a show. We actually discuss it because we actually keep up and watch it. Yeah. And The Boys is like to the nth degree of nailing it. It's like so much. Yeah. Then again, because then it's crazy, but. Just natural, normal romance and normal relationships are hard to see nowadays. I didn't watch the Materialists movie, which is like the new rom-com, but then apparently it turned out to be too drama than com, with Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson from...
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, but apparently it's like Pedro Pascal, he's in everything. But even that like ripped away... From what I've heard from women, so I went to lunch with some coworkers, and they had seen it, and they were going to watch a romantic comedy like we used to watch.
Sure.
And that movie it's about relationships. It's about dating. It's about getting together and all that stuff. And that movie even homogenized it.
Weird.
And that's about it.
Weird.
And again, I don't know if it's a snake eating its own tail. I don't know if it's the culture but again, I think art influences so much culture that I can't the last 25 years especially of ripping this stuff away, vanilla icing everything. And it's like
vanilla ice catching strays out here. What the fuck? That's so funny.
But it's like because that's happening, it has informed the culture. It just has. And
and it's interesting, like, well, a lot of this, I'm just kind of like realizing we've been talking a lot about relationships in movies and how it pertains to masculinity. And even when I asked you at the beginning, you said the first thing you said was your dad and brought in your mother. and your family, right? So how much of masculinity is based in relationships, and then if we're ripping that out of our art, like, what does that do to us?
Well, it puts us in boxes, and it secludes. Like, you get seclusion more than inclusion.
I think it becomes a separation of art and media. Then it's like those like movies at the blockbuster level are no longer art in a lot of respects.
Well, it's commerce, and it's not that it always hasn't been.
It's media and entertainment, which not at some point when it becomes commodified in that way, it no longer is art.
Movies are made by committee. You know, the blockbusters we grew up on and before were made by visionaries. You know, they were made by, you know, James Cameron. You know, I said Terminator already, but he's written and directed all of his films, and he's a singular voice.
Yeah,
Michael Bay,
like, I want this is what I have for it. Let's make it, right? As opposed to what's going to perform the best with this demographic and what was that? Oh man, when you get I'll come back to it. I'm trying to think of the term, the actual industry term. When you gotta get a group of family people. Test group. Thank you. It's test group like to death. Yeah. The death. Poster, the title.
Oh my god! How did you feel when they touched pinkies?
When they touched tips.
Take it out. How did you feel in the new Disney movie in Ellie? I can't remember if it's Ellie or a different movie. How did you feel when the two mothers, you know, kissed? And people didn't like that, so they took it out of the movie.
Oh no.
You know, and it's
sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad. The singular voices are gone on the mainstream level, and then it becomes, like you said, when you rip normal everyday occurrences out of art. There's a reason why there's so many.
When you do that, people stop going to movies.
Stop going to movies because they stop talking about movies.
Yeah, there's no meaning behind them.
Think of all the stuff we watch. Remember, think of all the in-depth conversations, even just in our youth, or not just us. I mean, like you know, your life and my life. But how many times you discussed what you saw, discussed art, watched film or TV, and really sat down and talked about it versus it just fucking flies in your brain and while you're on your phone, and it's just there now. Yeah. It's just there. Yeah. You know, it's hard to get distracted, it's easy to get distracted when something is engaging and you still have your phone beside you.
Yeah, it's just white noise, right?
It is.
Yeah. Oh, and that's why I'm watching less, because it's like if I'm only gonna watch something if I would rather not be doing something else.
Sure.
Right.
And it takes something like an Alien Earth, which is very interesting and very different, to gain your attention. But you are the norm. Yeah. I know I'm the weirdo. I'm the weirdo that buys movies and goes to the theater every week. I know I am. And seeing the audience difference, like of course this year has been pretty good for movies. Like some box office for certain studios has been really good. Yeah. But like, I used to work there.
Yeah, same. I used to work in the theater too.
Oh yeah, of course. You remember the lineups?
Yeah, I remember like the like Lord of the Rings days. And
dude,
like, oh my gosh,
the lineups, the people, it was
for weeks straight after a big release. It was just like chock full.
It wasn't just the super fans going to see the showing on Friday and then the box office trails off. You know, there was movies that were playing for weeks and weeks and weeks, and people would go
every single show. Yeah,
and that time is, I think, done, and people can't have discussions about that the same way people can't have discussions like this. Honestly, like I think this is what I like the most about just life. You know, shooting the shit with people I love. You know what I mean? It's like people I care about, and relationships are meaningful. And I think I know I mentioned it earlier, but you know, we both have very strong male friendships too. And I heard you talk about that on one of your other pods, one of your other episodes, and I think that has benefited us very just very well. Like, absolutely. It's very hard. I get some friends that just recently that more acquaintances and are trying to become friends. You know, there's that little game you play. but they've told me, they're like, I have a hard time finding another male positive friend. And personally for me, I've never really had that issue.
Yeah, I know, because we've just stayed friends for so long.
Yeah.
Right? We've just had long-time friends.
And, you know, like, not to float your boat too much, but, you know, you're charming, you're charismatic, you're personable, and you actually give a shit.
Yeah. You just gotta show up.
You know, and that's all it takes. Like, it's harder now. We definitely don't hang out like we used to.
Yeah. That happens, right?
But, you know, 20 years.
But there's constant effort, right? Like, it's never stopped, and it's like we have the group chat, we talk every day, so.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
But, okay, we're running. I think we're close on time here.
Great,
so
yeah, shut me down.
I'll let you plug yourself and your podcast now. Okay.
Okay.
Give me
If you're interested,
jingle.
if you liked what you like me, you might also like a friend of mine. We have different perspectives on things, but he's out of the States. His name's Trev. My name's Chris, and we have a podcast called Failure to Franchise with Trev and Chris at F2 the number 2 F pod on all the socials. What it is we just hit our 5-year anniversary. We've never missed a date, which is cool. Yeah, it's cool, right? I take that very seriously. Or we take the show very seriously too. We talk about failed movie franchises that had like a non-starter, you know, that tried to create a franchise, but then, you know, landed with a total, you know, bust. So that's what it is, and we go over the history of it, and we give our review, and we have some fun. I do all the editing, which is fun. That's I mean, I'm a film guy. I like to tinker with that kind of stuff as you're getting into and you're liking. It's a fun part of it. But yeah, no, it's Failure to Franchise on anywhere you get podcasts. So check it out if you want. You don't want to. No pressure. No pressure.
Okay, cool.
No free ads.
And then last, if you have one message, whether it's to someone specific or to society in general, or maybe you want to swear at the movie industry, I don't know. What are you gonna say?
Honestly, just keep watching stuff. You know, like and take a breath too. Watch something, take a breath. Don't to keep it art based and that sort of thing, because I kind of like where this discussion ended. Don't think that you have to rush through the 8 episodes of the Netflix season. You know, take a break. Think about it. Think about what you watched. Discuss it with a friend, and just, you know, let things. Oh, I hit my mic. I'm sorry. Oops. Edit that out. Let things, you know, hit you and really think about things. Don't let everything be content, because even content's not content. There's still people that put their work into it and their art and their perspective, even when it is those big blockbusters. But, you know, just like, you know, we're doing here, and Tyrone's whole media persona thing going on now, you know, take it in, listen to this guy, you know, it's don't just swipe, you know, actually really take it in. I guess, I don't know.
Take a beat, internalize it, integrate it, and discuss it.
Look at that. See, this is why you came here. Listen to this guy. Me, I'm rambling on like a dope.
Perfect. That's why I brought you on. Okay, thanks, Chris.
Right. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.